morning, folks. Welcome to Tiny Life Takeover, where I'm just trying to show people what it is to live in a tiny house on wheels in a country setting and making do with less. Just being minimalist and actually living a rich life. So making this channel has always been about helping people see what it's like to live in a really small home, but live in a rich way. And being in the country, where a tiny house is going to be, is away from the city and from things that you can easily get. So living a tiny life means that you're putting some things aside, like convenience, being able to have access to whatever you want, whenever you want, to having to be more DIY, to be able to make certain meals that you'd like to eat, to be able to incorporate different activities that you just can't do in a setting where a tiny house can't be, and adding things that you really enjoy doing. For me, one of which is cooking, because here I don't have access to a lot of restaurants, so if I want to eat certain foods, I have to make it myself. In this episode, I wanted to share with you a few things that I won't do again if I was to build another tiny house, and things that I have to fix in this one. So thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy this. One of the things that happened lately is we had a power outage. A windstorm came in. It was pretty rock and roll for a while. Knocked a bunch of poles down and the power went out. I did have some foods that need to be refrigerated that I had to get rid of. So I pretty much had to dump out my fridge and my little freezer. But it's okay because most of the stuff is actually in my pantry. And just let me show you what I have for a pantry set up here in the tiny house. Another thing that I would look at, putting this sheep trough, it's galvanized and it's the base of my shower unit, but the water does gather where the drain is and it's started to rust. Sometimes I'll just put some CLR around the drain, and what's happened is I left it maybe too long and it ate away at the galvanized coating and now it's rusting. So before it gets any worse, I have to figure out how I'm going to coat that. I'll show you, it's getting rusty and it's just something they have to deal with right away. And outside of that, one of the things that I wasn't sure how it was going to be is winter where I'm at. So to be so close to this water, I had to bring it down into kind of a lower area of the land, and I'll show you what it does. Can't park down here, and coming down to the tiny house can be a little treacherous, but something yet to be figured out. Living tiny has been awesome, and this still is the best home I've ever lived in, and I would recommend it. One of the things that I wouldn't do again, so my sink dumps into this 5-gallon gray water. So I have to change this pretty much every 24 hours. So sometimes I time it that after I do the dishes at supper or lunch, I'll go and do that. But the fact that it has to be done every single day means that if I'm sick one day or something happens or I forget about it, either, and this has happened, is this will overflow and then go all over the floor, down in the crawl space, and I've had to do that, unfortunately, a few times. So every time that I use the sink, I'm always listening to see, because as the water level goes up, you can hear that it's almost at the top. So I've had nightmares of this actually, where I dream that it's overflowing, and it just takes me an hour or so just to clean everything up, just a hassle. So what I would do instead of filling this is I would actually dump it into the gray water. And the gray water tank that I have, I do dump every 3 days, but it gives me the leverage of today I can't, but tomorrow it'll be fine. So that's one thing that I would definitely do different, and I have to figure out how I'm going to replumb that so that I can have a bigger gray water tank and then be able to just dump that. I run a hose to a French drain to be able to dump that with a pump every 3 4 days. But that's definitely something that I have to fix, and I would not recommend. And for now, however, I'm just going to keep a secondary 5 gallon bottle just because something that has to be done every single day, or else you can't use it. Because if this fills up, I can't use my kitchen sink anymore, and you can't have that. So definitely something that I would recommend doing differently. So that's it, my friends. I'm gonna throw some more wood in the fire to keep that going and get myself back to work. So I hope you enjoyed this segment, just to give you the what I would do again, what I need to fix, all in the hopes to help you realize your tiny house dwelling dreams, just to give it a go and seeing how much of a rich life you can live with less and be able to focus on the other more important things in life, relationships and family, and doing something with your life that's not just looking after your stuff. So thanks for watching. Until the next time, everybody, God bless.